If you grow kale, you might be wondering, should you let your kale go to flower? And what to do with your kale at the end of the season? These are two very important questions because what you do or don't do with your kale can affect your entire vegetable garden for years to come. In this video, we're going to talk about what to do with your kale at the end of the growing season and tips for what to do if your kale does go to flower. Plus, the basics of crop rotation and a slick trick, a unique lift and grow method that allows you to keep harvesting your kale for months without compromising the rest of your vegetable garden. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's begin with a real-life example of kale that's gone to flower and what to do about it. Okay, so your kale bolted. It went to flower. What are you going to do about it? First thing I do is nothing. I will go ahead and harvest the leaves, and then I leave the flowers for the pollinators like these bees and syrphid flies and honeybees to enjoy. Now, a lot of sources will tell you that because kale is a biennial in that it produces the leaves the first year and then it flowers and goes to seed the next, that it's a really great idea to leave it in the ground over the winter, and then the next spring you cut it off and then it resprouts new leaves. And I say, don't do this, because in my experience of almost 40 years of growing kale, don't leave your kale in the ground over the winter. For one thing, what you can do unintentionally is attract root maggots. And then you have major problems with all of your cole or cabbage crops, your radishes, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, you name it. Even turnips and rutabagas will develop maggots that then burrow into your roots or your root crop, and then it's destroyed. Root maggots is one of the #1 problems in agricultural crops around the world. So to avoid root maggot problems, be sure to remove all of your brassica plants from your garden, roots and all. Now, the other reason you should avoid leaving your kale in the ground is because practicing crop rotation every year for all of your vegetable crops is the best defense against pests and diseases. In fact, it's the key to maintaining a healthy vegetable garden, period. Crop rotation is a whole video in itself, but I want to help you get a basic understanding of how crop rotation works. So I created a simple guide for you, which you can find in the description below and download it from there. Now, back to our flowering kale. So what causes kale and other plants to bolt prematurely or go to flower before you expect it? Well, generally speaking, stress conditions cause a plant to go, I'm out of here. It's time to flower. It's a survival thing. And in this case, my kale bolted the first year, but we had a very wet spring. So insufficient nutrients, too dry conditions, too wet, soil can be too compacted. It might be old seed. Any number of things can cause your plants, your brassicas, to go to flower. But it's not the end of the world, especially if you're a bumblebee. So leave the flowers in place. Allow the pollinators, particularly the bumblebees, that really need this food right now at the end of the season so they can bulk up before they hibernate over the winter. These flowers are edible in salads, quite lovely, and they're not bitter at all. They're actually pretty sweet. Now that you know the importance of removing your cabbage crops, that is your brassica crops, at the end of the season, as promised, here's how to extend your kale harvest for months using this unique lift and grow method. Watch this short clip. And I think you'll be amazed at how simple and effective this is. I want you to meet my kale trees. I had to clear out a raised bed just a little while ago to plant spinach seeds to overwinter. And these guys were doing so well, but I didn't want to harvest them right now. So this is what I did. I simply dug them up out of the garden and I put them in these 5-gallon buckets with lots of compost. And it's been 6 weeks now and I'm harvesting still. And here it is, October in Kodiak, Alaska. So don't give up on your plants if they're fully grown and you still want to harvest, whether it's broccoli or kale or what have you. Dig them up, put them in a bucket, keep harvesting. Alrighty, have a great week. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!